What's going on, Jerome, homies? So mercifully, the NFL draft is quickly approaching, and the Vikings, they got a couple of needs. The need for speed. Of course, quarterback is going to be numero uno, but there are some other positions that the Vikings would ideally like filled heading into the 2024 season. ESPN, Matt Miller, Jordan Reed, as well as Kevin Seifert, who is not Carl Gerbschmidt, who's not, did a piece, 2024 NFL draft team needs, depth chart holes, and prospect fits as well. For the Vikings, this is from Kevin Seifert, who's not. Top three needs: quarterback, cornerback, and defensive tackle. Yes, I think that's pretty fair. In terms of win-play show, maybe I would flip DT and cornerback. Maybe interior offensive line has to creep up in there, but no. The Vikings' offseason intent is clear. They want a long-term replacement for former starter Kirk Cousins. This has been a 3-year project for general manager Kwesi Adofo-Mensah and coach Kevin O'Connell, loosely targeted at the 2024 class. Newly acquired Sam Darnold is best viewed as a bridge despite his youth and potential upside. Meanwhile, well, they have the best of both worlds, where if Darnold is a whatever, he's a bridge, he's a 1-year deal, no muss, no fuss, but he's got upside too. They will bring in a rookie TBD, but Darnold, don't sleep on Sam Darnold. I'm not ready to give up on him. Meanwhile, O'Connell has said he hopes to see some more man coverage in Brian Flores' scheme after primarily using zone in 2023. That requires some reinforcements in addition to the acquisition of free agent cornerback Shaquille Griffin. Finally, the team is hoping to reduce the heavy snap counts for defensive linemen Harrison Phillips and Jonathan Bullard after each notched over career high playing time totals. Also, can we get a little freaking pass rush from the defensive interior, please? One time, but the Vikings currently, so they have 11-23, and then they have a suite of day 3 selections: 2 fourths, 2 fifths, 6 and 2 sevenths. Now, the Vikings, if they want to dance with the top 4 quarterbacks, they're going to have to maneuver in all likelihood and moving up the draft board, and that's been talked about ad nauseum. And I think that it's something that the Vikings certainly do have in the works. There will be competition, whether it be the Broncos, the Giants, the Raiders, etc. But the Vikings do have the ammunition because they have the immediacy of those 2 first-round picks, which is very important. Or is it a world where they stick and pick and take Penix Jr. or Bo Nix or Rattler at some point? It's a possibility. I mean, there's possibilities upon possibilities there, but the Vikings should be walking away from day 1, day 2, well, specifically day 1 of this draft with their quarterback of the future. And then defensively, so I would say, well, we'll get to defensive tackle because they also list a potential late-round guy for the Vikings. But cornerbacks, so if the Vikings do want to play more man, specifically press man, probably going to have a little bit of an overhaul. So Murph is great from the slot. Shaq Griffin is best utilized in man as a left cornerback. That's where he became a Pro Bowler with Seattle. Mekhi Blackman, I think the Vikings have a stud in Mekhi Blackman. So, but the Vikings could certainly use a talisman on the outside at corner, where Evans, more of a zone guy. Booth has the skills to be a belt-buckle, man-to-man guy, but can't stay healthy, can't really get the time of day. So the Vikings, they certainly could be looking at cornerback. Now, I think it's a spot where they stick and pick. Maybe they take a cornerback at 11. Maybe they go a different direction at 23, specifically quarterback. So who knows? Or vice versa. Maybe they have to take Penix at 11, and maybe they go cornerback at 23. Certainly, it could be in the mix. But I think Quinion Mitchell, Terry Arnold could be in the mix at 11. And then you have guys like Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now, specifically, if the Vikings want to play man, I do think that takes Cooper DeJean off of the list. I think Quinton Mitchell's a stud. Same thing with Terry Arnold. Kool-Aid is probably the best press man corner of the top tier of this draft. But even if they don't go corner early, guys like Max Melton, guys like Kyrie Jackson, I feel like is super underrated. Guys like Elijah Jones from Boston College. I think that Cam Hart, a length on the outside, certainly. Renardo Green, maybe one of the more underrated corners in the draft, specifically for man coverage. So even if the Vikings don't hit on corner early, they certainly can add one later on, where this is an interesting corner class where it isn't top heavy, but there is a nice strata of top tier guys in terms of like Quinton Mitchell, Arnold, DeJean, Wiggins, Kool-Aid. It's sort of what kind of corner do you want? But is there a Sauce or a Stingley or a Surtain in this class? No. There isn't. But is there a bunch of guys that you could see eventually working their ways into starting roles? Yes, certainly that is the case. And then, so defensive tackle for the Vikings. Enhance. So the Vikings did bring in Jerry Tillery and Jonah Williams with their more run-stopping 5-techs, but the Vikings still need that true nose, and the Vikings still need that penetrating 3-tech. And defensive tackle-wise, so I mean, if they take corner off the table in the first round, Byron Murphy and Johnny Newton could certainly be in that mix. Devondre Sweat as that true nose tackle. Chris Jenkins is a guy I like a lot, and he may fall into the third round in terms of being the complete package of stopping the run, as well as I think he's underutilized as a pass rusher. I think he showed a lot in that Washington national title game. Then you have the quick penetrating guys like Michael Hall, like Ruka Rororo, like Dwayne Kata. And what's interesting is that part of the article, a prospect to fill a need outside round 1, Dwayne Kata coming in from Duke. Carter is an explosive interior defender who has the upside to develop into a starter down the road. He had 47 tackles and 10 run stops last season. And with Carter, yes, he is an older prospect coming in. He's going to be 24 in December, and he's 6'3", 305, 3-year captain for the Blue Devils. All heart, all hustle. He's a guy that when we put on his tape, just nonstop motor. He sets an example. I think that he could be future team captain material. And he initially, like, his floor is a good run defender, specifically if they put him in a one-gap situation. So, I mean, the Vikings, yeah, they're going to play a base 3-4 with 3 down linemen, but they're also going to have even fronts quite a bit too, 2 and 4 down linemen, etc. I think that he can develop as a pass rusher. He already has the traits. He's powerful in terms of the bull rush, and I think that will translate to the NFL level, as well as he's shifty laterally. So I think that with proper coaching, I think that he could develop into more of a sack merchant. He did have 11 total sacks over his last 3 years for the Blue Devils. So I think that could be an interesting spot if the Vikings do take Dwayne Carter, say, at the top of day 3. But the rest of the way, I mean, there's some dogs in here that I love. So I love the upside of Mason Smith, as well as you look at Gabe Hall from Baylor, Christian Boyd, I mean, that hybrid nose tackle who can also rush the passer. Jordan Jefferson from LSU, I think, is getting slept on quite a bit. Evan Anderson is my guy. 320-pound guys unite. We need to get back to having the meats up front. So, yeah, I mean, the Vikings do certainly have needs, but I think that this draft is set up perfectly for them to address all of them without necessarily reaching, because drafting for need does keep you drafting for need, but I think this could be an infusion, because outside of quarterback, because that's a whole nother conversation because of the quarterback tax, but if and when the Vikings need a defensive tackle or a corner, they can address those positions without necessarily reaching down their boards. I mean, it could be a perfect synergy where their board does sync up with what they do need. So I think the Vikings are in a very good spot in respect to Kwesi and whatnot. But that's it. Your thoughts on thoughts? ESPN's Vikings draft needs corner, defensive tackle. Close enough. Listener thoughts and our thoughts in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But until next time, Skol, production value.